as y'all know, it's been pretty hard to get Kendas at all in 2022 because of, I guess, the way
They're
they had
hoarding them now.
Everybody look at that camera right there. So you know, that whole part right there is going to forever be some sort of a cut-in meme for this.
Yeah.
All the time.
If he doesn't do it.
Welcome back to the #1 Drift podcast on YouTube. Apparently presented by...
Unofficially.
Not really.
Yeah, they don't even know we're doing this.
Yeah, this is... You tell them the story real quick before I go through the announcements.
Okay, so everybody always thinks that the podcast... I'm Nate. This is Chris. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, Dawson.
It was threw us off because we spent the last 45 minutes dressing this place up like a Halloween
at the
outfit.
Same time.
Okay, so everybody always says we're sponsored by Kenda, and then today... Kenda made a joke that they're going to drop us as a sponsor, which was a mistake because nobody trolls harder than us. So we decided to dress the entire podcast studio up in Kenda. All right, we have cups. Okay, they don't hold 2 beers, which I find troubling, but it'll hold 1. I have this hat. He's got this hat. He's wearing an OG Kenda hat.
Put a random lanyard on here.
Yeah, that one rides around with me all day. That's off my keychain. And then we have the shirts. And then Dawson made this, which says unofficially presented by Kenda Tires, or from Ed at Kenda Tires. That way, if anybody gets fired, it's you. All right. So let's do this thing.
Love you, Ed. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, thanks, Kenda.
Yeah.
So a few announcements. Don't forget, we will be at Hyperfest May 19th through the 21st. We are hosting supposedly the first ever Q&A panel live at the event. So be there, check it out. I'll leave links to the tickets and stuff in the description. Grab your RB versus LS merch. You are still fucking winning, sadly. But
Rightfully so.
Yeah. But it should end at midnight tonight. So grab it while you can. But 10,000 subscriber giveaway is coming up soon. We have some things worked out already. I know Abel up here that makes exhaust tips is making us a custom tip for you guys. We'll probably have some tickets to Hyperfest and stuff like that. But what else did I fucking put? Oh, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button.
How do you forget that part?
Dude, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. But if you have not already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We would really appreciate it. Still about 50-60% of you, I think is what it was, are not subscribed, but still watch the pod. So grow up, hit the button. And this is Chris. So I'll let him introduce himself.
What's up, guys? I'm Chris Anderton Holt from Shelbyville, Tennessee, local boy, like these guys. Just been into cars for, I don't know, ever since the Need for Speed Underground days. You know, everybody kind of gets started somehow or another, and mine was just video games, I guess. And just kind of grew that into the passion and what I do today.
This one's not on there, but I just thought of this. Have you ever seen where people say that Need for Speed Underground 2 created takeover culture? Have you seen people say that? I've seen a bunch of people say that, so that's why I'm curious. I don't think that because I played that game, and I think that's fucking lame.
Yeah, I don't see the whole like.
It's like saying Call of Duty.
It's like saying Call of Duty breeds school shooters. Like, that's really far fetched. That's a very big stretch to say that. Like, kids sure they play the game, okay, but that doesn't instill that kind of mental thing in their head.
Yeah, I don't see where that clicks.
I don't either. I was just curious what your thoughts were because I read that and I was always like, I don't think so. But then I've read it a couple times and I'm like, I don't know, maybe they're wrong.
I've seen people say it, but I don't think it's real.
I think there's too many people that like Need for Speed Underground that hate takeover stuff that would stand up for that and say, okay,
I don't think so.
No.
I think it's too many people just over their head.
Oh, for sure. All right. Sorry about that. All right. So, who are you? What's your car? I already said who you are, but what's your car? What's your setup? Give us a rundown on the car.
So I have a 93 S13. It's a coupe. I've had that car for 4.5, 5 years now. It started out it wasn't even running, didn't have a motor in it or anything like that. It was just a piece of junk car that had like literally nothing I don't even think it had a welded diff.
How dare you call a 240 junk?
No, seriously, it had a shark on the side of it when I got it.
Yeah, I remember.
So that was kind of cool. Yeah, it didn't have anything. Had like almost no interior. I got it for like $900 as a rolling shell, and then probably, I don't know, 6 months after I bought that, I went and found a KA24 that was just like bone stock. Really wasn't anything done to it, so I could just put that in the car and then try to get it ready to drive. And I really had no experience at the time. I had only built street cars before that. I had a couple of 240s in the past, and then I had like a 370Z like stance car for a while. And
Put a picture of that car in here. That was a good looking car.
I do miss that car, and like I hear that it's in really bad condition now, and that makes me really sad because I love that car. Like I spent so much money on, like, I had 3-piece wheels, you know, I had all this kind of fancy stuff, had it tuned and everything, and like it was a really nice car. But I would go to Import Alliance shows and then like just park the car and VIP or whatever, and people just come by and look at it, you know, and you just stand there all day, or you might walk around or something. And to me, that's just like really boring after a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's cool to be in the spotlight for a minute, but
interest.
yeah. And I kind of got tired of it. And so I wanted to do something, you know, behind the wheel of a car or do something with a car. And I'd always been like a fan of drifting since it started, but I never really like had the money or whatever to get into it. But I would go to Import Alliance and see when they would do like drift demos and stuff like that. And I did a couple ride-alongs, you know, a couple years running, and it just kind of like got me hooked and wanting to do it myself. So that's when I got rid of the Z and then kind of wanted to go a different route. Picked up the 240, got it running. My buddy Philip Gordon I went with him to like our first event in Clarksville, and he had this like trashy Lexus.
Philip Trashy?
Oh, the GS?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
It had a 1JZ in it.
It was that horrible green color,
Or 2JZ.
tan interior. It was heavy.
Yeah, it was the stuff we had to go through to get that car, man. It was like we had cut springs, and it was like we have a picture of it where it's like toting the left front wheel coming down the hill at Clarksville. It was just like a different kind of car than what we should have been starting out in, right? It was the worst platform you can think to learn in. That was that car. So, but it was a start. So he drove it for a little while, and I got a couple laps in, but like I just didn't have the funds available at the time to get my car running. So it took me about another 6 months to get the car that I had drivable, and by then the season was pretty much over. So the following year, when the season started up again, I was able to like take the car out and drive, and I got a couple of events in. And then
what'd you struggle with most whenever you first started?
For me, probably just confidence, honestly. Like I felt like I could do it because I enjoyed like racing four-wheelers and stuff like that. And like I knew I had the ability, but I didn't have like you can do this, you know. I just thought, you know, I would mess up or something. Yeah, I was like, I can do this in my head, but like I didn't have I would spin out or something, and then I would just like put myself down. Like, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this.
See, that's because he's smart. See, I don't have that, bro. I'm dumb. I'm just like, I got this, even if I don't got this, you know?
It was like, there's a definite learning curve, but
For sure.
I think starting out in a car that had basically nothing done to it except a welded diff was a big plus for me.
Yeah.
Instead of starting out, like when I met you, your first event was in a car that was, I mean, it was years ahead of my car. Now, I know you had a lot of experience on the sim and stuff like that, but I think it really paid off to start in a low-powered, like nothing done to it.
I
car.
agree with that too.
Yeah.
I've always said that. Start out low power, simple car, and it'll teach you actually how to drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with that.
I'm not knocking the fact that people start out with built cars. I think that's great too if you can do that.
Yeah. I think it depends on your motorsports experience. I swear to God, we have this conversation every single podcast.
Yeah.
But that's the truth, is that it depends on your motorsports experience. Like if you have, like, what do I have on? I think I have like, I swear I think it's like, 2,700 hours on a Seto. Like just drifting, not grip, not F1 driving, nothing like weird, like just straight up drifting.
Just slide in the car.
Just slide in the car. I have like 2,700 hours doing that. And then when I built my car, I went to my first event, and I fucking broke the shit out of it, which I think that's part of the keep the car as plain as you can. But I think I did pretty good. I never spun out, and I did the track I didn't hit the lines every time, but I did the track, and I didn't really make that many, in my opinion, rookie mistakes that I see a lot of other people make. Now, that doesn't mean that you should play 3,000 hours of Assetto and be like, I got this, because that's not true. But like I was just saying, like, he's smart and I'm not very smart. And so like I always think like I got this, and I don't always have that. So I think that's the difference. It just depends on your level of confidence.
If you play that part, just be willing to deal with the consequences.
Yeah, because now my car is so insane I can barely get my arms around it, I was like searching around for 350Zs on the way over here. I was like, dude, I should just buy one. Fuck it. Just go drive.
I saw a driving 6-speed for $4,500.
I saw one for $2,000, but it didn't have a title. And then I searched because I work at a car lot, so I look at I know, but it might be stolen. So I was like, I don't know. Like, I have a big garage, but it ain't that big.
You can just grind all the VIN numbers off, right?
All right. Yeah, we could do that. We could do that.
I haven't done that. I'm not. That's not what I meant. I'm just saying.
We don't do that thing.
I'm just saying.
That's not us.
I've heard of people doing that. Let me rephrase that.
All right. So
all right, we're done.
no. All right. So let's see where we at here.
Okay, so you technically got Nate into drifting, right?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
We met because of, how did we meet?
I drove past you on Main Street or Madison Street, and then you turned around and I turned around, and then we drove back towards each other, and then we pulled into, I think, either Taco Bell or that insurance place. No. I followed you. That's right. I followed you back to your house, and then we talked about our cars because my car was already LS swapped, but it was like raked and like ready for a set of slicks, because that was not ever the plan for my car. It was supposed to be like like a street beater, But
I think I remember we had an internet conversation or a messaging conversation prior to that
about the angle kit.
Yeah.
And then but it had nothing to do with us passing each other. I just saw you, and like, dude, if you see a 240SX and it's all one color, that's like all the way finished. I was like, I'm gonna go fucking talk to that guy. So then I followed him back to his house, and we got there and we talked about the cars, and then he was like, dude, you ever been to a drift event? And I was like, no, but I always thought that was super cool. I play Assetto all the time, and that's literally all I fucking do is drive on those. He's like, dude, we're going to this one at Beach Bend. And I was like, what do I need? And I think it was either you or Casey that said you need an angle kit. And then we drove up to Jake Elliott's like the next weekend and got the stuff. And then he also gave me the dual caliper kit, and that ended up on my car also, like literally like not even 4 months ago.
And you were already driving. You were already drifting at the time, weren't you?
I had probably 6 to 8 months under my belt. Not a whole lot, but I still had like a 4-cylinder car. Like I was still slinging it as hard as I could at the wall in Bowling Green, like terrified. But at the same time, by then I was like, I was a driver. I was okay by then. I wasn't like, I wasn't good, but I didn't suck. I wasn't spinning out and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, it was cool to see you out there, because like you were pretty hyped, because it was your first time out. And you were
first in line, baby.
Took the first lap out, and you're like, "This is the best thing I've ever done in a car. Why didn't I do this sooner?"
Right? Yeah.
And then the car broke.
Why wasn't this the plan from the beginning,
dude? And now I think, dude, remember I threw a crank pulley through the radiator?
Yeah,
dude. It was like, I have a picture of it. Remind me, and I'll get a picture of it for the podcast, dude. I have a picture of the crank pulley hitting the ground and then bouncing up high as fuck over the car, and I'm sideways. There's smoke rolling off the back of the car. I'm like, dude, it's like it broke the shit out of it. And then, dude, this should be a reel, because this is good for like the community in drifting. Straight up, dude, Casey's car broke, and his car was also still a K, right?
Yeah, I think his clutch went out on him or something.
Yeah, this was probably like maybe the 5th or 6th time I had hung out with Casey. We might have hung out a little bit more than that, but not enough to really know me that well.
Yeah.
And dude, so my car throws a crank pulley through the radiator, and I pull into the pits, and I was like, dude, that's it. My first drift day, I got 12 laps on it, and I was still hooked. I was like, oh, fuck yeah, dude, I'm throwing another crank pulley on this bitch and go back out, Like, I need a radiator, obviously, So I pull into the pits, and Casey's car is like he's trying to pull it on the trailer, and it won't even go on the trailer because the clutch is so blowed, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, yikes. I tell you what, go get a crank pulley. And I was like, I can't. The radiator's leaking. He's like, just go get a crank pulley. And I was like, no, you're going to have to give me more than that, bro. The radiator's leaking. I can't drive without a radiator. He's like, go get a crank pulley. We're going to put this radiator in your car. And I was like, okay. And that's exactly what I did. And by the time I got back, he had the radiator ready to rock and roll and go in. And I fixed it. Or he fixed it. And I went back out for probably 20 more laps that day.
That's sick.
I had to borrow a set of fucking 17s from Wes. I thought I was completely prepared when I was definitely not prepared. I had no idea what I was fucking doing.
I think that's the first time we met Wes.
That was the first time we met Wes.
We were at the hotel and we got up that morning and parked right next to our trailers was plates from Bedford County, Tennessee. And I'm like,
y'all of us were like,
we're all the way in Bowling Green,
That's
Kentucky.
weird.
What are the odds? And it was just this. Wait, he had an enclosed trailer, I think.
No.
Or was it open?
It was an open trailer at the time.
Yeah, because we could see the car. It was just like a red car.
Yeah, we were all poking up.
We're trying to figure out what motor was in it. We couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
Kind of found out it was his kind of motor.
It is the motor.
Oh, yeah, it is that motor. Yeah.
That's fucking small world, man.
Crazy. That was the first time we met him.
All right, we'll wait till we get to the bonus topics to tell all the other Nate and Chris stories. All right, so comp driving versus like grassroots fun haver days. Like, what do you prefer?
Well, I've only done technically one competition.
So that should be like extra hype. So like, which one do you like the most? Do you like competing or do you like just having horsepower and homies?
It's like asking, do you want penne or do you want linguine with pasta? Okay.
Well, everybody's got a preference, homie.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's a tough one, dude. Honestly, it is. Like once you've been driving since 2019 for me. So that's about 4 or 5 years. You come to a crossroads and you're like, okay, I can keep doing this for fun, or I can take it down a road that's a little bit more competitive and maybe I have an edge over other people by now. And I think both avenues provide a lot of fun for the right type of people. And for me personally, I really love fun days where you can just go out and have fun with your buddies. And, a lot of them are like 2 days. You can drive at night and then drive all day the next day or whatever. That's really fun. I really enjoy doing that. But man, going to LS Fest with like that little bit of taste, like you get one victory and then I got put out. So I won one battle and then I got put out. And like both of those is like extreme high. And you would think that getting beat was like extreme low, but man, it was like I was still on cloud 9 just because when you're
something you ain't done before.
No, not at all. And it's a different, like I've played sports before. I played baseball and football and stuff like that. And it's like a friendly kind of competition, but at the same time, you really want to beat them. You want to win. Yeah. I've never done like drag racing, but I would think it'd be kind of like that because you line up next to them, you can look over and see them. You can look them right in the eyes,
Yeah, I can just tell you from my drag racing experience, it's much meaner. It's much more fuck you, asshole.
Like drag racing is?
Drag racing is much more fuck you, asshole. I'm going to take your money. It's not. It goes back to the community thing I was saying. You're much more inclined to be friendly to people. Drag racing is like I wouldn't say a solo sport because people have teams, but drag racing is much more of like a one-man rodeo.
Well, they like call bets at the line and stuff, right?
Dude, I've been next to Ben and he's like calling out like, I know he's a big physically opposing guy, but he'll be calling out like 3 or 4 big dudes that can beat both me and his ass. And I'm like, what are you doing, man? He's like, what, dude? That's just how you negotiate. I was like, I don't think so. I've negotiated for 15 years. I don't think so, man. That's my job. He's like, fuck you. You're slow, man. Here, bet me. And I'm like, it's just crazy.
I wouldn't say that to him.
Yeah, right. It's just crazy. So like whenever I got to drifting, I thought it was going to be a lot like that, and it wasn't.
It's so chill.
Yeah,
dude.
it's so chill.
Even at the competition level, from what I experienced, it's cool to be under the lights. Okay, in front of that many people. Like, there's probably 20,000 people at LS Fest.
Yeah.
Like, that's a real number, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
And like,
it's why I like Import Alliance events and stuff because there's so many people.
It's crazy.
It's a whole different
and like
rush.
It's you and the other guy, and dude, everybody's looking at you. You don't want to mess up, but you kind of just have to block that out.
Yeah.
And I think like part of that is the reason why I enjoyed it so much is because it's a chance to see what I'm kind of made of.
Yeah,
I can put myself to the test, and you're either going to win or you're going to lose. And then even if you lose, my second battle was against Dirk Stratton, and obviously he's been driving for a very, very long time. He's got a lot of things under his belt. And
his car is fucking badass.
Yeah, it's crazy fast.
Yeah.
And I could talk to you all day long about how that battle went, but at the end of the day, he got the win. And even after that, I went and talked to him, and he's just like the coolest dude.
Yeah.
There was no like bitter feelings or anything, there wasn't any like anything dirty going on. It was just like, I got beat. This guy is good. He's better than me. And I'm just going to go congratulate him. And I did. And he was really cool about it. And that's what makes competitive drifting, the way I look at it, to be fun, in the same sense that fun days are fun. It's just two different roads, but they both give you like a really good feeling. So
No
honestly,
clear winner, huh? It's just
no
50-50,
clear winner to
huh?
me. I don't
Depends
know.
on what the next event is, huh?
Yeah. I do want to do some competitions this year. I don't really want to pursue like a Pro-Am or Formula Drift avenue.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to be that serious with it, but I do want to do stuff like Riverside.
Yeah, so you just want to run a couple like here and there comps, nothing crazy.
Yeah, I want to do like the grassroots type of comps. I think is fun, just to keep it fun to me, but still try to test my abilities, you know, because I can go to Clarksville and drive whenever. I can go to Nashville Super Speedway and drive whatever. But
I feel like those little comps represent drifting the best. That's like what
yeah,
you would think of whenever drifting is brought up.
I was going to say like the Clarksville comp that me and you don't have to give names, but tell us the story of how you crashed, or not you, but the car got crashed before you ever made it onto the track. Tell us that story. I don't want to talk about your actual wrecks. Like those are because you were sending it. I want to hear that story.
it was at an Import Alliance event.
All right. Cool. Of course.
Yeah.
Huge crowd.
Yeah. You can imagine.
They're super forgiving too, I've heard.
Was it beach?
Yeah.
Band?
Yeah, for sure.
That always draws a huge crowd.
Okay, so I'm going to set the stage. Okay. It sounds simple, but there's a lot more to it. Okay.
No, I know.
So just got done with the driver's meeting, got back to the tent, was going to get the car fired up, ready to go. And like I was in the first spot right there where you enter the track where underneath the bridge.
Right.
thing. And when you exit over here in the middle of the track, kind of where the road goes right there. Okay, well, we were parked right out of that exit spot. So I could pull off track and boom, I was right there. So I'm the first truck and trailer parked right there. So everybody that's coming from the drag strip, the bathrooms, all that stuff right there, I'm the first one they see,
Like,
bro.
dude, look at that fucking sick ass gray car.
Just got the car's been freshly painted, it looks all good.
Yeah.
And I remembered, I was like, man, my brakes been feeling kind of spongy. I need to go ahead and bleed those before I go out, just in case, I need to hit the brakes real hard and I have a problem. So I had my girlfriend at the time with me, and I was like, here, just sit in the driver's seat. Let's start the car.
Oh boy.
I'm just going to have you pump the brakes a little bit because I need to bleed it while it's running because of the way the air system works. Okay, so the vacuum.
Right.
You can bleed it while it's not running, but it's just not as effective, and I needed to get done because they were already lining up
Also,
to go.
there's been studies done that show that the vibration also helps bleed out air out of the lines. I've read that too.
Right. So I could hear cars firing up and going to grid, and I was like, well, I'm ready to ride. Let's go.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm thinking this is going to take 45 seconds tops. We'll be good to go. I didn't even I just jacked the car up a little bit so I could turn the wheels far enough to get to the bleeder valves on each caliper.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, just make sure the car's in neutral. And
Is this pre or post dog box?
this is post. The dog box is in the car. Okay. And just make sure it's in neutral. Shift the handle back and forth a couple of times. Hit start. You should be good to go. She's like, okay. I could see her doing that. So I'm like, okay, looks like it's in neutral to me. And she was like, is it in neutral? I'm like, I guess, yeah. Go ahead and start it. So she went to hit the start button, and it was not in neutral. It was definitely still in gear. So, of course, I look over, and the car slams into the trailer. It's just it lunges forward. And luckily, she didn't she was able to, I guess it knocked her off of touching anything, so it just lunged forward and stopped. Yeah. But it did hit the trailer still. And
this is when we had that ground effect.
Yeah, we had this weird thing. We had an oil cooler, but it was
it had a scoop on the bottom of it, and the air it had a scoop on top of it that was to grab air through the fender, and then it had a fan on the bottom of it to suck it down through. It worked really good.
We had it laying horizontal. It wasn't standing up like a normal cooler because we just didn't have the stuff to do that with at the time. We just quickly welded some stuff on there. And we thought putting a fan on it and putting it flat would suck more air through it, and it would be more effective.
It worked good. It worked good.
It did. It worked great.
Yeah.
But
it just also protruded out.
Yeah, it stuck out like this far, but it stayed inside the bumper, so I could still run a bumper.
Yeah.
And of course, when she lunged forward, it smashed all that stuff and busted the bumper all up. And it busted part of the oil cooler off, but like I had a piece, an AN piece that I could just replace it with. So I wasn't leaking oil, which was like,
Yeah,
that was my.
I'm not gonna lie. This
45
whole
seconds.
time I thought it just busted the bumper up. I didn't know it did all
I
that.
remember when it
God
happened.
Damn.
No. I look over and the people next to us are just like, like in the pits, you know, the drivers are just like,
Dude, his girl at the time was in the chat, right? Because he drives for the same team that I do. So in the chat, the girl starts posting. She goes, Chris is mad. And I was like, oh, she broke something. Oh, it's going to be a story, you know? And so she starts posting pictures and it's just Chris standing by his car, mad as hell. And I was like, what happened? He texted me, he's like, fucking started in gear, man. Like, you know, it was so funny, dude.
it was like very violent, very quick. I
Yeah.
almost got ran over. I was in front of the car, like kind of to the side a little bit, but it almost ran me like kind of
It's
over.
not funny, but I'm glad you're okay. But it's a great story.
It all happened so fast. Luckily, we were able to get it all back together, and that Import Alliance event turned out to be like the best event I've ever had.
Okay, well, that's
I
good.
gave Nads from Hoonigan a ride along.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
This other,
about
I can't remember her name, but it's the woman whose son got killed that drove the Skyline. Her son got killed on the interstate after leaving Import Alliance one year. I can't remember when it was. It was like a really big thing. I have to look up the name.
I've heard about that. I don't know any details or anything.
Well, she was there hanging out with the Hoonigan crowd and gave her a ride too, and it was just like a really cool experience. And
Like a vibe.
yeah.
oh yeah, man! Like
Yeah, very cool.
I'm not the kind of person to like want to steal the show, but like everybody was like, I was like the star of the show that time, and that was a really cool experience.
Yeah.
So, what started out really bad ended up being like one of the best moments of my drifting life so far. So that was really cool.
Very cool.
Since
Go ahead. You can ask him. It's fine.
since this is kind of like a gag episode with the Kenda Tire thing, what tires do you drive or with, and
He used to be a Kenda snob.
how many laps you get out of a set?
So depends on the track, of course. As y'all know, it's been pretty hard to get Kendas at all in 2022 because of, I guess, the way they
They're
had to.
hoarding them now that they're officially.
Everybody, look at
FD.
that camera right there.
Well, no, to the middle one.
Okay. Oh fuck.
The fuck.
Well, we all know.
Dude, just so you know, that whole part right there, that everybody stares at the camera, is going to forever be some sort of a cut-in meme for this.
Yeah.
All the time.
If he doesn't do it,
Dude,
he'll take screenshots
you
galore.
know that hot, nervous, flashy feeling? Whenever he sees this post, that's the feeling he's going to get.
Yep.
Is that right there? He's going to go, ooh, thought I control circle of drift.
And then he's gonna say,
I'm a half price hot boy.
This is going to be a
still
gold
won't
mine.
sponsor us.
This is a gold mine for him.
Dude,
"Dude,
yeah,
if he
they
does
love
not
me.
sponsor us, eventually, I swear to fucking God, bro."
Well, I don't know, man. Cletus McFarland's been doing
kidding.
this gag with Mountain Dew for like
Yeah.
2 or 3 years, and they haven't said nothing. You know, but they really don't have a
Mountain
vested
Dew will
interest in
give
it,
one
you
day.
know? Probably. I mean,
Yeah.
Ed's a cool guy, though. I'm sure you guys can work something out with Ed.
Oh, Ed's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
But yeah, before they moved their manufacturing stuff or whatever, I used to run Kendas, like that's all I would drive.
265,
Drive on.
maybe.
Yeah, I started out on a 235, like 300 tread wear, and that's a good tire. And then I LS swapped my car and I stayed on a 235 for a while actually. And then you were running like bigger wheels, like a 10.5 or a 10 or something like that. And you had to run a 265. And then I realized I can fit a 265 on a 9.5.
Yeah.
And so started using 265s, and the 265, 35, 18, and the 300 tread wear used to be like the holy grail.
That was the grassroots tire, man.
For sure. I mean, you could drive pretty much all day long on one or maybe two sets of tires, depending on where you're at, and that's it.
Every once in a while, get them for like $60-$70 a piece.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
Dude,
you ever
I miss
hear like
that.
heat cycling stories? Like, oh, you got to leave them in the sun, and then you got to go outside and lay down a prayer mat
I
and
didn't
pray
heat
to
cycle
them. You ever
shit.
hear like people saying all this crazy shit? Dude, I ordered a set.
People go through extensive amounts of work just to heat cycle their tires. I don't understand that. When you could just bring all your fucking tires, go out, do a lap or two on one set of tires, swap them to the next one, and just rotate them until you've scrubbed them all, and then just go back to the first one you did. That way they're heat cycled.
What I was gonna
Is that not?
No, you could totally do that. What I was
I
going
feel
to
like that's
say
a less complicated way to do it.
Is the KR20 265s. When I discovered those, before I was running those, I was running those Walmart tires. Like I swear on my life, I think on the way to Beach Bend, I stopped at a Walmart and picked up another set just to be sure I had enough tires for Beach Bend. That's how dumb I was. So then when I figured out Kenda's would last, somebody was like, Kenda's will last you all day. And I was like,
It was probably me.
It probably was you. At the time, I had a 400 something horsepower 6.0 car, and I was like, ain't no fucking way, bro. So I put a set on, and we went I think not the next event, but the next event after that was the Clarksville 2-day, and we showed up at 8:00 and on a Saturday, and we didn't leave until like 6:00 on a Sunday, and I went all day on both days on one set of tires, and I was like,
That's not real.
yeah, it's fake.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's hard to
fake.
do with 400 horsepower.
Yeah, and dude, I wasn't, and dude, back
VQ
then,
car, but-
before my car was turboed, and I had all these I had needed to make all these systems that work together and all that bullshit. It was just a fucking Enjuku swapped truck motor, right?
Mm-hmm.
As long as it never got over 250, I was fucking sending it, bro. I didn't heat soak them. I didn't fucking run through any water. I would run 10 laps and the car would start to get hot. I'd be like, I better shut it off. And then I
I
would
don't
wait.
really even need it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But dude, for fucking 2 days, that's crazy. I bet I ran 50 laps, dude.
I like to drive through the water now and spray the tires off a little bit now because you will make them last longer that way.
Right.
But I mean, like heat cycling, like Brandon Rose is a heat cycling son of a bitch. He diehard believes in that.
I believe in it also. I'm not
sure
saying
I
I
know
don't
it
believe in
works.
it.
I just don't think it's that necessary.
Exactly. I am too
don't think it's that
lazy
substantial.
to take the time out of my day to try and heat cycle tires to make them last 5 to 10 laps longer. I'll just buy another set of tires.
Right. Same.
Don't care. I'll spend
Yeah.
another $200. That's my heat cycling.
I
right
will.
there.
All right, hold on. Before the internet roasts me, I will say my car has a washdown kit on it, so I can push a button in the car and it blows water down on top of the tires after a run. So I guess I technically am heat cycling it, but still, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I ran at least 35 laps that 2-day event or whatever, and it was like a day. So I got like 60 laps. Now I know Clarksville's fucking covered in rubber and it's really easy on tires. It really is easy on tires. I've gone out there with Walmart tires and ran like 12 laps, so whatever. But it was just impossible.
Yeah.
It was impossible.
I
couldn't
mean, if
believe
your
it,
goal
dude.
is to drive as much as you can on a good tire, that was the recipe.
Yeah.
But
I didn't realize I was sucking Kenda's dick while we're doing this gag reel, but that's the truth, honestly. I'm not making that story up. That is a true thing that happened. I'm going to tell this story, then we're going on break. Do you know how we got the motor that's in his car?
No.
Dude, we
I don't think
kicked
so.
it down a fucking junk pile.
it wasn't that
yeah,
bad.
It was too
It
that
was
bad.
not
It
that
was too. I have pictures somewhere. Dude, it was the fucking color of this nightstand.
I've got the longest running motor out of anybody that's
That's
in
what
our
I'm
group.
saying. You just said you needed to send one out. What the fuck are we sending out? Why? Why don't we just hit it with a pressure washer and throw it in like we do the motor that's in there?
The heads have never been off my motor.
So
Never had the heads off. This motor doesn't even have heads.
just take the heads off of your motor and put them on the new motor.
I want to get good heads.
Boom. Why? Why? You're gonna get 75 grunt horsepower. Just all right, whatever.
You can LS.
I wanna make
You can
one-
argue with your own LS people. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I think that unless you're trying to shoot for some insane number, you don't need all of that. Dude, the bone stock 862 heads, actually, I'll tell you why. Because a 6-liter has 317 heads. They have lower compression, right? You're shooting for more power. 862 heads, which is what's on your car, is what comes on a 5.3. If you swap those to the 6-liter, you bump the compression up. You make more horsepower. You make 75 more horsepower. So we take the bottom apart, ring gap it enough to where we can run a 100, let's say 50 shot of nitrous on it, throw that in there, run my high-rise intake that's in my car right now that'll give you a little bit more. I'll give it to you. It's better than your low ram.
I don't want to
I'm
cut
doing
my hood
Holly.
anymore.
Oh, shut the fuck up. So then we put the nitrous kit on there that I've entered 3 of.
You need to back me
right?
up on this. There's a certain look you want your car to be, right?
Nah, dude.
Okay, I don't want a massive, like, I don't want this
turn a wheelbarrow
sticking out
upside
of my
down,
hood.
lay some fiberglass.
You
on it.
I
bought a
totally
hood.
agree with
That's-
that. I can't stand when those
I didn't buy
fucking
shit.
intakes are poking out of the hood. I think it looks tacky. I think it looks.
I like a little bit of poke out of the hood, just a peep. I
If
don't
it's
like.
if it's like half the end, because you know they're kind of
It's-
slanted, right? Normally,
But my intake, remember I ran my intake on a bone stock hood without your vented thing, and it only poked out like this much. So if you have your vented thing, you might have to get rid of like 3 slats, but it's not going to stick all the way out.
yeah, I don't know.
Then boom, right there, you now have a 420 horsepower before the bottle set up. Don't have to worry about it. Made it to your dog box. Go back out. We could have you ready. Me and you could fucking do that in 2 weekends, and you fucking know it.
Oh, whenever I get everything together, it's going to happen in like 24 hours. I just need the stuff.
Whatever. Tell me if I'm wrong. I know I'm not wrong, but whatever. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments.
Can you actually grab me that sign?
Yeah.
I want to talk about that real quick. This is just a metal sign. My buddy Philip over at Neverlift makes these. They're completely customizable, so you can get your own car and stuff on there. But a whole bunch of other products, and like what we were just talking about, the key holder thing. I think he's gonna start doing that. So let us know in the comments if that's something that you would buy, because I definitely would. But yeah, if you guys want any custom signs, metal signs, or anything, put in the shop. Go check them out. He's in the description. Drift Games is apparently moving, but not across
Really?
continents like their video says. But they're getting a new shop. Or is it a new shop, or is it?
Yeah.
They're moving their cars to the current shop.
They're moving all their cars, their street cars, to this new shop, is what they said. And the shop they're in now is going to be their drift car only, like for their competition cars and stuff like that.
So they're expanding, though.
They're expanding, and they're trying to buy a new place. Or the way he explains it in the video is they're buying a place that's already built, but they got to renovate it. So it's a lot cheaper than building a new thing like they talked about doing the compound. He said they still want to plan to do that in Ireland. It's just keeps getting pushed back by the government and rules and regulations and stuff. So
Yeah, Ireland.
Good for them,
sucks
though.
for that.
Good
Yeah.
for them for growing. That's awesome.
Yeah. Dude, if they were here, it would be enormous.
it'd be like
able to
another
do
LZ.
so much more shit.
No, I haven't seen this video, but I watched the one where
Oh,
Jimmy
yeah.
Oaks is like stressed because they can't get it to run, or
Dude,
they can get it to run.
That
but they're
thing
like
had
having
fucking gremlins. And I want to point out the fact that that car has been down for about 3 years. It's a fucking LS build, and it's been nothing but headaches for him.
But I want to point out that like the reason that so when you talk to an LS guy like me or him, right, or Ben, okay, you talk to an LS guy, there are certain things that we have experienced that makes us like hip to it, right?
Yeah.
If you got a Tahoe sitting somewhere, it makes no oil pressure on idle, but if you rev it, it goes up. It's the O-ring, right? Like we know shit like that. And so, honest to God, that's such like a little secret that I don't even know if I want you to put that in the podcast for real. I'm serious.
Wow.
So like, it's one of those things where like, because all he does is JZ, SR, Ks, and then they try an LS, there is a lot of little nuances to LS motors, but it's usually because it's such a highly popular like chassis pick.
But I feel like
that you
that's
can
something
usually
that
get
needs
the
to be
answer.
known, because especially if people are going to express so much that LSs are this easy peasy way to build and like keep up with motor, but
I have a theory.
you still have to know the little tricks and secrets to them. I don't think that's like...
So my theory is that because he has this team now that helps him build cars, and this is not a flaw, I'm not talking shit, but I think that they probably refrain from reaching out because in the car culture today, it's looked upon as if you ask questions that you're ignorant, you're an idiot, right? And he'll be the first to tell you, I'll know how to do something, but I'll still call him and be like, hey, am I doing this right? You know, I've done it more than once, but I'll be like, hey, it's this, right? Like just to be sure that I'm making sure, because I'm not because I'm not flexy. I don't give a fuck if people think that I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't do it for.
Yeah, I mean, it's
points,
also
you know?
for the camera as well. Like you kind of have to have the good and the bad parts of the build.
I agree.
For
I
the
agree.
content to be good. So
agree.
I can see that being the reasoning why they don't like reach out to other
But you have to want to build an LS motor, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Me and Casey have built several KA motors together. We've built several SR20 motors together. We've worked on several VQ motors together.
Extra
And
blech. I hate
like
VQs.
you can ask him, just like you can ask me. I'm sure he would agree that we would both prefer to just build LS motors at this point, just because of like it's so simple.
Yeah,
But you have-
information is
but
readily
that's why
available.
he chose the platform to swap into. It was LS because it was so easy and it was so like simple to keep up with. Parts are cheap, yet it's all just been a headache for him.
But didn't he say somewhere that he didn't have a lot of experience with an LS motor?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying. Everyone
Listen.
says you don't need experience. I could train a monkey.
You could
take
train
it
them
apart in
to
LS.
take one apart. You could. You absolutely could.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
Well, taking
the
it
hype
apart-
is there that
taking
people
it
talk about.
Taking it apart and putting it back together is two different things.
Yes, but everyone says it about keeping up with it because parts are cheap. They're very easy to work on.
Well, what kind of problems did he have?
No, I don't know exactly, but it's been like
He should call us.
over and over.
Grounding
and over.
issues.
He should call us.
It's what it is. I know that's what it is. Grounding issues. Either the coil packs didn't ground.
It's like electrical problem.
Yeah. It's like all these gremlin problems. So, because, dude, it's literally like, this is okay. So here,
Well,
hold on.
I will say,
I'll give you a good
heard
example.
that E30 or E40, well, BMWs in general are a little bit more like weird to
Annoying
swap.
to ground because they have a bunch of weird connectors that ground parts to other parts because the chassis, the reason you get so much grip is because the car is built, I'm going to get roasted for this, but it's like kind of loose. You know what I'm saying? Like the car is built in order to flex a little.
geometry,
Yeah, it's built so that it hooks, right? So when you go to ground something, you might ground to something you can rub off and tell that it's metal, but it might not be grounded to the rest of the car. So I know I see, and I'm like an idiot, right? And Jimmy Oakes and his team are like fucking pros. They're pros, dude. Pros. The pros of pros, okay? But like they have problems with an engine that I'm like, dude, I literally can go downstairs, kick beer bottles out of the way and do, you know? And you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying...
You think maybe they're
Dude,
overthinking?
Not that you can do it.
I
It's
swear to
just
God,
you
Dawson, don't
do it.
don't clip that where I'm talking shit about Jimmy Oakes. I don't want that kind of heat.
No,
all right?
I would never.
I'm just saying
do that
though.
to Jimmy.
But that's what happens is you have like a specific thing that you get good at, and then you have this setup that comes in, and it's like, dude, it's so simple that the guys that normally work on complicated stuff, they're like, it can't be that. It can't be that easy, and it fucking is that. You know?
I bet it really.
I
There
bet
is
you
parts
that's what
where
it is.
like
It's
that.
like you can't just ground this to this and it work, and it's like, yes, you can. That's exactly how it works. You know.
So maybe they're overthinking
I'm
it.
sure that does.
I don't
play
know.
a part.
I don't want to like speculate on what they're doing,
Yeah.
but I think that that's probably the part of it is they haven't done one because he doesn't have another LS car, right?
Well, not B Hall, but Jimmy has the LS 300Z, the red car.
Yeah.
I just think it's something to point out because of how much talk there is around LS that it's not complicated and it's very easy. But I mean, like any motor, you're gonna run into complications. I don't want it to be looked over that an LS is just like literally Legos, like we say. It's not.
Well, like 80% of drift cars now are LS swapped.
Yeah.
No, I know.
But
But
what
they
I'm
still
saying,
come
But
with
there's
complications.
a reason why, though.
Of course, they come with complications.
That's all I'm saying is they still come with complications. It's
not-
not like they are just the end all be all motor and that they are so simple like everyone normally makes them out to be.
But our complications
simple.
we've had have not been because it's an LS motor.
So yeah, it's usually
You've
something else.
had.
Well, listen, we're not both like
We're
coming
just a
for your
small
neck.
sample size.
We're just saying that, like,
I'm just saying for the people out there that don't even know what they haven't even gotten into a car build yet and they're thinking about an LS and they're just like, "Oh yeah, everybody says they're easy. I could do it. That's totally simple. I could have it perfectly running and driving in a month."
nah, 2
See,
months.
that's okay.
60 days.
What the
Listen,
fuck?
all I'm saying, dude, is all you got to do is pull the fucking intake off, hook up the coil packs correctly to your harness, and you can stick a carburetor on it.
That's what I'm talking about.
It'll start.
No, I know, but that's not gonna get it going. That's not gonna be a perfect car.
They don't
It's not
get
gonna
you.
be. Oh yeah, it's ready for the dyno. No,
Well, if you want to have a carb
because
car,
there's more that goes around it.
there's more stuff.
Just like with the E46 wiring, that nobody really. You have to figure that out. That's not just plain and simple like everyone says it is.
right, you got to know an E46 guy.
That's
or an
that's
E36
literally all
guy.
I'm pointing out.
I'm not fucking coming after you. I was just talking. I'm just explaining how you would fix problems that you're presenting me. I'm sorry. Jesus.
I mean, would you recommend somebody to RB swap a 350Z for their first
no.
car?
Right, it's terrible. It's a headache. No, but at least I'm saying it.
What do you people want?
All I would say is people say that they're so simple, but they won't also say that you can run into some complications depending on chassis.
Oh, for
and
sure.
stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was it. On to the car reviews?
On to the car reviews.
All right. Let me get there.
There's two in this.
For as much as you say you hate BMWs, you sure pick them a lot.
I mean, like, dude, it's like this or like piles of trash that people have rolled wheels up next to, you know? I'm not even
Let's go
talking
here.
shit. It's just hard. Like people are just, like, dude, I was telling somebody the other day, people will literally say, review my car, and it's the picture of a half painted engine bay, no engine. They're just like, and I'm like, what kind of car is it? And they just send me a picture of a car and you got no fenders or bodywork on it. And I'm like, what kind of car is it? You know? And there's
Wasting your time.
dude, and there's 3,000 of these that I got to go through.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know?
it's just not worth it. But
Dude, it's like discount.
so
Jonathan.
Jamie Tedesco started life as a 2000.
It is. Look, it's an LQ4. It's totally discount, Jonathan.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Was way.
Oh, dude, look, he had-
with way too many
he had-
miles on it.
It's playing shitty, not nachos.
He added Lucas to it. He's my people.
Tex Racing 4-speed, 8.8 rear end, M3 rear quarters, and custom fronts.
Look, this is why I'm convinced. He did a whole event on nothing but oil stabilizer in it.
He set enough stickers to make it not look like shit from 10
I've
feet
done
away.
that.
You can't do that in your RB.
Damn, those are real
100%.
works.
He's not even
Work
listening to us.
XT7s. He's got
trying to
real
read.
wheels.
He's blocked us out.
He hit every point except for the real wheels for you.
I
And
mean,
the
I don't
BMW
like,
part.
dude. That's like a huge misconception.
And he's
is
from
that
Canada.
Is that I
That
don't
sucks.
like
I'm sorry,
real
buddy.
wheels? That's like not true. Like,
He's from Canada.
Yeah. That
dude,
sucks.
if I could have a set of fucking 11-inch Workmeisters for my car,
Dude.
dude, that's what I do.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I would do.
Oh my God.
I'm just like not interested in spending fucking $7,500 to have custom barreled wheels that I'm almost certainly going to tear up. That's like I'm not hating on
Oh,
you
I
if you're
totally
into that,
understand
dude. If
that
you want to
part,
flex,
yeah.
flex. I'm just not flexy like that, you know.
I bought him once. I'll never buy him again.
Right.
So yeah. I guess, what do you rate it?
What's wrong with the bumper?
Dude, it's hanging and like it's not.
No, there's a
not right.
valance missing, bro. Either way. Look at the other one. Look at the second picture. Go back.
You can see it sagging in this one too.
Yeah, because he's missing a valance. Go to the next picture. Click on that other one where there's two of them. Go up one. Go to that one.
This one.
That's the same kind of car. Yeah, look, there's a valance missing underneath the headlights on the other dude's car that are on there.
Oh yeah, I see what you're talking about.
7.
I'll give it a 6. Sorry. It's a little beat, but it's a nice little car.
I bet it
Good seat
rips.
time car, yeah.
What? Go back to the mods.
There you go.
He's doing a turbo 4.8.
Roast away.
Big fan from Canada.
I'm just. It doesn't show any of his like. Does he have an angle kit on it? Any kind of suspension?
Apparently, he's trying some Pro-Am and stuff this season. So it's got to be.
I'm going to give it a
fairly
7 just
put together
because
car.
I'm going to give it a 7 just because I like the fact he ran it on nothing but oil stabilizer, and he's from Canada.
Yeah, he definitely got a booster point from me for that.
He sounds like he's from Tennessee, but
Yeah.
he's from Canada.
You would
Look at his
fit right.
profile picture.
He's giving the finger. Yeah, you'd fit right in, homie.
I don't really like BMWs, especially E36 and E46 chassis, but he's a cool dude, so he gets bonus points.
Yeah.
Hell
Cool
yeah.
car, 7.
All right.
Whoa.
Wow.
Dude, it's an FB.
Is this?
No, that was not a car review.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
one. That's the thing that we were supposed to. We were dropping knowledge on people because we were like, dude, what? Talking about Origin USA.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So you just
Yeah.
2-time past that. So it's an FB.
Jordan B. It doesn't have your name, so sorry. FB.
I don't think I've ever
kinda rough.
seen
Looks.
an FB.
Not in real.
that's
Yeah, I haven't
wild.
in person ever seen one run.
No.
Hold on. Let me see. He gave me a mods list. Did I include it? Are you sure? What's
Yeah.
his name?
Jordan. B. Like, this may be the longest time I've ever looked at an FB in general.
Yeah.
Is it Jordan _B or just Jordan B?
Jordan Space.
It just says Jordan Space B. His actual tag name's not there. Just type it in the DMs. The search bar of the DMs.
That's what I was doing.
Oh.
I'm afraid he
Hold-
might have been someone that came over from my personal. Y'all fucking quit doing that. Y'all are so. Hold on. There it is. Rate my newest toy. It's an 85 FB. I got it on trade for a non-running Fox body that I had $400 in.
Oh, man.
Attaboy. Ghetto angle kit, half cage, inline hydro, 12A rotary. So it's a plain boy. I can get you some revs here if you want.
Oh, wow.
Hey, pop-ups.
He turned the pop-ups on.
Oh.
He's not going to rev it, I don't think.
Wait, the pop-ups work?
Look.
Yeah, they worked.
It runs. It's covered in snow, but it runs. I thought you were going to rev it.
Fucking cool.
But the pop-ups work.
What do you give it?
Yeah, the pop-ups work. I give it a 7.5.
I was going to say
Dude,
7.
also, I would like to point out that I know what kind of wheels those are. Those come off of a BMW.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about wheels, so that's like a big deal for me.
What you give it?
You're not going to like this. I'm going to give it a 5.
Really? Wow.
Should have kept the Fox body.
What? You're crazy.
The only reason it's not a 4 is because the pop-ups work.
Wow. I like old shit like that. I think old shit like that's cool, especially
Old shit like that
Damn,
is
you're
cool.
brutal.
But like,
Said, damn, you're brutal.
Dude, he drives it too. I mean,
how long has he had it?
not very long. He said,
fucking-
"Bring my new
Okay,
toy,"
okay.
but he drives it, or at least the person before him drove it, and now he plans to drive it. I think that's the move.
Talk about a low power car. Good God.
Yeah, 12A.
Yeah. Does it make
Hannah,
100, if that?
Yeah,
It's cool because you never see it, but
yeah.
then again, it's not cool. I don't know.
I bet. All right. So,
You want to do this?
Do you wanna
You
go
want to
over
go
this?
back, or you want to go? Do you want to do
go
that?
back to it?
You want to go back to it?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's
All
go
right.
back. That way it all makes sense.
Yeah, you get to wait till the end. Stay around.
All right, so this is an E36. He takes he's just like me. He takes all corner angles, Dawson. See, there's no sideways pictures. You notice that? Look at that. So weird. Even the bottom one, he's taking a picture from the angle where he's got the Evo wing.
I mean, did somebody ask him to take
Wow.
a side picture?
That's what I'm saying. I
Did
told
he
him I
take
would.
these pictures?
He didn't say, "Hey, go take a side photo of your car." He said, "Do you have any?"
Only two of these. You can't see one of them, but only two of them.
Bullshit, man. Right there, you can look. He's taking
Two.
this.
Only two he took.
When do I ever take pictures of my car?
Every day. You take pictures
Yes,
of
you
your car.
No, I take videos of my car. I don't take
Okay, you can
pictures
take a
of my car.
screenshot.
Anyways.
You would think.
All right,
So I
so-
tried to send him to him, and he was like, "Nope, not all 13 of these are wrong." I was like, "Dude, you asked for the side of my car. You
Side,
know
side
what?
picture, side picture, side picture, side.
You know what's on the side of it. You decide the livery. What the fuck?
Let us know in the comments. When someone asks you for a side picture of your car, what is the first thing you think of?
Are we going to rate this guy's
Yeah, let's
car?
do it.
Anyways, yeah, sorry. Here.
All right, so 328 IS stock M52 with M50 intake.
See, that's Spanish to me. I don't really know what that means.
Pretty sure you swap the intake from one motor to the other so that it makes a little bit more horsepower. I think it's like a BMW thing. Pretty sure Dustin Evans did that, or at least, or maybe it was the other way. Maybe he put an M52 on it. I don't know. There's some.
Yeah, I don't know
There's
what's
something
good, what's
about
bad
that.
about
I have no idea.
Because that was when Brennan Daniels zip tied me to the fuel line, and then I instead of doing that, I cut the fuel line and like moved my arm and then replaced the piece, and then I told everybody that it was our friendship bracelet. All right. Anyway, so full SLR Ultra angle
$40,000
kit, yeah, and with the extras. So I guess that's like the meal with the slop.
Pretty
I guess
baller.
That's like the big deal. SLG dual caliper kit with Willwood and Villains handbrakes, side bumper, exit exhaust. Attaboy. He said, "Fuck Greta Thunberg." Yeah. And then poly engine and trans mounts, strut brace, and retabs. Oh, because BMWs tear their subframe spots up
yeah.
because they're built really
Subframe
flimsy.
mounts.
They built them so shitty that you guys are convinced they work so good. All right, and then NRG Prisma seats and steering
Geometry
wheel.
works.
Harness bar. Well, yeah, anything fucking hooks if it bends. And then Coney coilovers, soon to change though. Camber arms, roof scoop for the bitches running out of breath in the passenger seat because I whipped the shit out of it. Evo 89 wing.
Ooh, I like the Evo 89 wing.
I gotta tell you, the way he presents his argument is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I give that car a 7.5. Oh, I don't know. That bumper's fucked up.
What?
Did he fix it? No, it's still fucked up.
There we go.
Give it a little bit.
Is it a hatch type or is it just a coupe?
No, I think that's just a coupe.
Message him and ask him for a side shot.
Fuck off.
Did you send you a
That's
video?
gonna be another running joke.
Was there a video down further? Did he send you a video?
This is just a screenshot for me.
I might have had a video.
Yeah, there's a video right there.
That both videos.
Definitely.
Yeah, there it is. Look.
Okay.
Oh, here it is. Wait. Oh, he sent me more than one.
Oh, that elevation drop looks cool.
Hey. Oh.
Oh, it won't zoom.
Oh, dude, he gives a hell though.
Yeah. Let's just replaying it.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's your video.
Yeah, 7.5. Cool car.
I'll give it an 8.
I'll give
Very
it an
cool
8
car.
too.
I'll give it an 8
honestly.
because of the Evo wing
Yeah. Change your front bumper. That thing's a piece of shit though.
and get matching wheels.
Oh my god.
And I don't really like BMWs, so get something cool.
Ooh, it's an SR.
And then resubmit it so that I can shit on that too. What?
So we got an SR now.
Oh, I know. I talked to this guy. He's cool. This is one of the dudes that, like, pretty sure this is one of the dudes. Yeah, look. He tries to call, right? He tries to call, which, like, I don't know. Like, I think he has the Instagram notifications turned off, but I don't because I'm a psycho. And so, like, it rings in my pocket, and I was like, it's probably like, you know. Probably,
Another
This is me.
customer.
This is me with the phone. Like somebody will call and I just don't answer it, and then I just
Called
say,
it 422.
Hey, what's up?
yeah. So I, like, didn't know what's going on. Like, yeah, he's called me before, and I'll, like, answer a FaceTime in the shower, right? Like, I'm, like, weird, so I'll, like, answer
your
any
cat?
phone. Yeah, with my cat. And so my cat takes showers. That's the joke. And so I try to answer the phone call, and he immediately hangs up. And I was like, you know, are you in some kind of trouble? Are you local and you know where we are so I can come? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, all right, I'll try and help him. So I said, what's up, bud? He said, my bad. Cop passed and I dropped my phone. And I was like, that's a good reason. And then, dude, look, he tricked me. He immediately launches back into his fucking review pitch. And I was like,
Yep.
all right, well,
Yeah, that was
I'll give
slick.
you a crack at it. You know?
But you hadn't seen the car before this?
No, I posted this afterwards because I thought it was funny. But I went back up to the car and I was like, all right, what the fuck is this? And I was like, oh, dude, it's a fucking like mocha, you know, Type X car. It's pretty cool. Yeah. So I go back down. I thought it was funny to include this story with it, you know?
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
Did he paint the engine bay?
No idea.
I don't know. I remember
SR20 turbo, SSR.
I read hot road side skirts. But I read it as hot rod side skirts, and I tried to Google it, and they didn't exist. And I was like, liar. But now I see differently, so I'll need to go look those up. But they look cool. If you go back to the pictures of his car, like those are cool looking.
And he slides it.
Yeah, and he drifts, and he's on fancy wheels.
Solid 8.
Low boy car. Too.
Yeah, that's an 8.
That's
Solid-
a 9
solid
for
8.
me. It's SR, God's motor.
If it was a coupe, it'd be a 9, but it's a hatch, so it gets an 8.
Yeah, same.
9. Cool. Oh, that was it. Oh, I
Ooh.
was about to say it can't be it.
I'm like 70, maybe 60% sure.
I'm glad you put this on here because I did see a couple people asking about mini truck stuff.
I know.
I want to build one
Well,
so
dude,
bad.
this has got a welded diff. It's K8, it's 5-speed.
is it?
He's
Drift
got some
truck?
fancy. I don't know if he drifts it. I didn't get to ask him. I literally added this one on the way over. Yeah, it's. I got to tell you, man, I've seen a lot of fucking
It looks good.
Frontiers of
mini
that
truck,
era,
yeah.
and they are all junk. They're all junk. All of them.
Yeah.
They're all beat to shit, farm truck, fucking, I'll just take the Frontier type shit. So this is like a nice one.
Good old hard bodies. I'll give that solid 7.5. It's nice to see something like that clean.
I'm going to go 7. Yeah, it's a nice car.
I'm going to give it an 8.
Really?
Strictly on the basis
Oh,
of
you like Frontiers,
I
though.
really, really want
Yeah.
to build one of those.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I want to slam the shit out of it. I want to make it into a little
Yes.
drift toy. And then that's really all I want to do with it.
You need to talk to
I would
Travis
drop
Duncan.
one on its fucking
We're supposed to
nuts.
interview him. I was supposed to interview him, and then he just never. I said we're going to do it this day, and then he just never hit me up.
Damn. Well,
So I guess we'll see if he's listening.
well.
Look at that. So just inconspicuous.
Yeah.
I mean,
If you can get that.
But I don't want a KA under the
you
hood.
get the rear a little bit lower, probably.
I want
But-
something turbo like.
yeah, not notching the frame. You can't.
Yeah.
I had one. I had a flap. Oh no, I had a Mazda B2000, but it's basically probably the same shit.
Hey, I had a B4000 at one point, but that's like literally identically just a Ranger.
Dude, it was like sometimes it was so shitty that sometimes it wouldn't start, and I'd have to like carry a bottle of starter fluid with me, and I'd fucking spray it in there. Dude, you know how hard it is to convince a girl to go home with you if you got to spray starter fluid in a carb? You know, just never fucking happened. I made it happen a couple times, but it was just ran out of gas. What a piece of junk.
Well, that was it, right?
Yeah. So, what's one piece of advice you have for someone who's new to drifting or hasn't done drifting and wants to get into it? And then on that camera, or that camera, plug all your people.
Actually, not that one. Just those two.
Or whatever.
Not this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this one's right in front of me, so
He's not a retard. He's not. He doesn't have autism. He got a brush with autism. He doesn't have autism. He knows. We're good.
Piece of advice I would give is just don't give a shit what anybody says about you if you're getting into drifting. Like, do what you want to do and how you want to do it. Take advice and criticism, but like, don't let it get to your head and affect the way you drive in a negative way. So take advice from people that have been doing it for a while, listen to what they have to say and pointers they have to give to you and stuff like that. Setup tips, tire tips, stuff like that. What to do here, what to do there. Things that you can do to your car to improve it. Listen to all that stuff, but like, don't let okay, so one instance is we were at Import Alliance, and when I was with Ariel, she was in the stands, like trying to get videos, and there was I was driving a 4-cylinder car at the time. I was spinning out. I wasn't doing very good. And this was in front of a lot of people at Bowling Green. And these kids were like talking shit. Like, this guy keeps spinning out. He sucks, whatever. And then she just looks over and is just like, where's your drift car?
You're right.
Why aren't you out there? Like don't rag on somebody because they're trying to get something or they're trying to achieve something that they've wanted to do. And maybe they're struggling or whatever, so just don't let whatever anybody says to you or word gets around to you about, when you're starting out, just like block it out, focus on what the people that are trying to help you are telling you to do, and just go have fun with it.
Yeah. Listen, agree, shake their hand, and then do whatever the fuck you were going to do anyways.
Yeah.
And now plug your people.
So obviously, my Instagram is cosmic_13. You can find links to all the stuff there. And Cosmic Garage is our group. We've got 8 or 9 drivers. We try to hit up events pretty much all around the area. We've been up in Ohio. We've been down. We haven't been to Mid Pond yet.
I'm going this year.
We definitely want to go to Mid Pond. But yeah, Cosmic Garage, of course. We had a YouTube channel, which unfortunately got taken down from some copyright claims made by some people that aren't anything motorsports related, but they have the same name as we do, magically. So they've got like 7 subscribers. And they made a copyright claim, and they won. And I appealed it, and they still won. So all of our content got taken down and removed.
No fucking way.
Damn,
so
I didn't know that.
Every video that we've posted under Cosmic Garage on YouTube is gone forever.
Wow, that's shit.
So that's why this year I'm not really hyper focused on pushing a lot of YouTube content out, just because like I'm kind of burnt at the moment, and I'm just gonna take this time to enjoy driving and not focus so much on stressing about making sure I get content and getting it all edited and all that kind of stuff. So that was a big bummer, but we still have Instagram, and I think Casey said something about making a new YouTube channel. So I might work with him on developing that new avenue and maybe trying to recover some of our old stuff if we can get that. But aside from that, you can check out Cosmic Garage on Instagram. You can keep up with like where we're going to be driving next. We haven't really sat down and got a whole schedule of events that we're going to drive at this year, but we are going to do a lot of stuff. We got a couple of guys doing Pro-Am, Brandon and Wesley. They're entering into the Pro-Am series this year for East End Drift. So we're going to be helping them out, and good luck to them. Hopefully they can bring home some victories. And then as far as me personally, I'll just have to give a shout out to Kansei Wheels, Phil Suspension. I don't really have any tires picked out this year. Last year I ran Valinos all year. Not under any kind of sponsorship or anything, but I know we talked about Kendas earlier, so I'm really looking forward to maybe trying out those new.
I want to try them too.
The new, I guess, quote unquote, new 265 and see if that quality and performance is still there. RTS Race Tech Services.
Arc, you got an arc, right? Arc panel?
I don't know. We had one in Ariel's car.
Oh, that's right. I have an
And
arc
we put
panel.
one in your car.
Yeah.
I need an arc panel. I would like to redo a lot of stuff on my car, electrical wise, and yeah, that would be a good start.
Yeah.
I might do something like that. But yeah, I think
And
that's
Holly, and then you're at Wise Fab.
Holly, Wise Fab. I got the new V2 kit on earlier this year. It's great. I have no problems with it. It's been stellar. Yeah, I guess that's it.
All right.
Well, that is it for this one, I guess. So hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and we will see you guys next week, same day. Peace.
All right, hold on. We got to get a picture.